Welcome back now. An FIR has been registered against the actor and CPIM MLA M Mukesh following a complaint by an actress. Actor and CPIM MLA from Kollam, Mr. Mukesh was booked for rape following a complaint by an actress amid allegations surfacing against prominent personalities in the Malayalam film industry. The actress has alleged that abuse had caused her to leave the Malayalam film industry and relocate to Chennai. Denying all these allegations, M. Mukesh has stated that the actress had tried to blackmail him and termed the case as politically motivated. In fact, today, the Kochi court has granted interim relief to the actor-turned-politician, ordering police not to arrest him until 3rd of September. On that note, these rape charges have been registered against actor Mukesh. The actor has said in his defense that these charges are nothing but politically motivated. Charges of outraging modesty of a woman has also been filed against the actor-turned-politician. He, in his defense, says the actress tried to blackmail him. Sexual harassment charges being filed against the politician, to which the actor says that fair probe will uncover the truth. And so when it comes to the Mollywood Me Too storm, the muck is spilling over. And will the actor-turned-politician Mukesh resign? That's a big question. We'll be probing in just a bit.
Series of cases is coming up against him. Not a single case. Every day, new cases are coming up.
Government is a left government. A left government is politically, ideologically and morally as a position to stand with the women in cinema.
Women's reservation must be brought up. 33% women's reservation must be brought up.
And so with that, let me introduce our esteemed panelists today. I'm joined in by Mr. Raju P. Nair, who's a spokesperson for the Congress Party. I'm also joined in by Mr. Vivek Srivastav, who's a leader of the Left Front. Mr. Srivastav, if I could begin with you, the big question that's being posed by the opposition at the moment is, why not have M. Mukesh resign?
No, I mean, see, the party CPM is investigating into it, and if they feel that there is a necessity, definitely he has got the bail today, so investigations are in process. It is not as if the investigation has not been done. See, you have to understand one thing, that the amount of work for women empowerment and safety that this government and this chief minister has done, no other government has done it in this country. In 2017, the women organization came forward, met the chief minister and requested that there should be a special committee made, because POSH Act 2013 was not adequate according to them. And Women in Cinema Collective was the name of the organization, and listening to them, the chief minister made this committee. That is the first part. This HIMA committee looked into the various matters, how the industry is functioning, is the logistics in place, a lot of things came out in open. This, after COVID, again we tried to get the report into public. Everybody is sort of raising a finger on us. Aapne report nahi dikhai, report nahi leak kiya. It's not that. A film actress went out of the way, went to the court to stop the publication of this committee report into public. When that was over, another film producer came into picture and he started it up, and finally it was in August that the court squashed their writs, and we released the report. This is the first part. Second part is, the chief minister was totally with them. POSH Act 2013 had a negative clause. It said that if a woman is being molested, she should preferably report the case, whatever be the kind of harassment, within 3 months of the incidents happening. There were many other clauses. So we are working on it. If the intention of the government was not to work on the issues of women empowerment and safety, all these activities would not have been done. And it is because of our work that finally, things are coming out in open. A lot of things are coming up. Now, you cannot, yes, I mean, if something is wrong, whether it is an MLA or a member of parliament or a bureaucrat, definitely you must resign. But then the party is trying to, the CPM is trying to look into the matter itself, because we need to know what is right and what is wrong. A mere allegation cannot be the fact for a resignation. There needs to be a little more than that.
Rajan Iyer, the question that's being posed to the Congress party as we speak is why demand the resignation of an M Mukesh when you have two Congress legislators themselves, and M Vincent and Eldos Kunnapillil,
Yes.
who have allegations against them, and they continue to hold on to their positions.
Yeah, I will come to that specific point, but I have to counter some arguments which my friend has put on here. Because one, HEMA committee was announced after a huge pressure was mounted on the government after the incident in which an actress was attacked in public road inside a car. So after that, the women in collective, there were a few actors who came together and demanded the HEMA committee. And of course, the HEMA committee was formed, but that HEMA committee was formed toothless because it was not part of the lawful commission. It was a committee. Now the committee submitted its report, and for 4.5 years, this government sat on that report without taking any action on it. Even in 2020, MK Munir had raised this question in the assembly, and the government said that it is looking into it, and there are some of the recommendations have been implemented. So it is misleading to say that the government was very honest in this and government was taking it forward. One. The second thing is he is saying that the government, Pinarayi Vijayan government, is a very large-hearted government who does not do anything, who does not protect any of such criminals. Come on. Mr. P. Shashi, who is the political secretary of Mr. Pinarayi Vijayan, is a person who had faced the sexual harassment charge from an MLA of his own party. From his own party, a MLA's daughter raised an allegation against P. Shashi, and he had to, the CPM had to, take action against him. Now he is sitting inside CM's office, taking all the political decisions. Now, think about Mr. P.K. Shashi. There was a MLA, P.K. Shashi. Now, the CPM always put forward this thing that CPM is investigating. Who is CPM to investigate a crime? Who is CPM to investigate it? Do you have a police?
No, I'm talking about the government of Kerala.
No, let me complete. I did not interfere when you were talking. Let me complete.
Yeah, please.
Who is CPM to investigate?
Yes.
The police from your own government has registered 2 FIRs against Mukesh, and the government, the police, if they register a case, you have to trust the police system.
Right.
You have to trust the system. Now, what is the business of CPM investigating into a
Absolutely.
rape allegation? Investigating into a rape allegation.
Yes.
So this is a hoax, and they want to protect Mukesh. Now, let me come to the specific case of Mukesh. Is it the first time that the sexual harassment case is charged against him? In 2019, when the MeWe movement happened, the same allegations were against Mukesh. Now, there is a minister in Pinarayi Vijayan's government, Veena George. She was a journalist. She had interviewed Mukesh's first wife, Sarita, and she had openly said the conduct of Mr. Mukesh against her and the domestic violence, which we can't listen to it. That horrible experience she has explained. Now, after knowing all this, CPM made him 2-time MLA. CPM made him contest MP ticket. Now you are saying that you are, this allegation.
Yes.
But
We-
Rajan
let
Iyer,
me-
by that logic, you still have these legislators, M. Vincent and Eldos Kunnapillil. You've still not answered my question. Why do they continue to occupy those prime positions?
I am coming to that question. Now, Eldos Kunnapillil and M. Vincent had faced an allegation, and the Congress party suspended them from the party and asked them to face the investigation. They faced the investigation, and they submitted their case before the court, and the court granted them bail. And there is many things which is said in that report which I don't want to get into. Now the problem is, why are we demanding Mukesh resignation? Because there is a series of allegations against Mukesh.
Point taken.
No,
I'm running short of time.
Yes.
Mr. Vivek Srivastava,
Yes.
it would be unfair to say that CPI and CPIM are on the same page when it comes to women's rights and
Yes.
protection for women.
Yes.
Because we've seen an Annie Raja and a Brinda Kara
Yes.
from CPIM herself
Yes. Yes.
call out for justice and also supported the demand for resignation of M. Mukesh. Yet the State
Yes.
Secretary Binoy Viswam is saying that no, they have no no right to speak. I am the state secretary of CPI and my word is the final word. That's dishonoring the women of the party and leading women who are also calling for similar demands. How can you say that CPI and CPIM are on the same page when it comes to women's rights and protection for women?
No, it's all they are all on the same page, and it's we
No,
are a
they are
unified
not. Let
party.
me tell you that.
Listen to me now.
I have researched
yes,
that.
Yes, you are right. But I'll explain it to you. You see, communist parties, we worked in a very disciplined way, and we have state-wise cadres, state-wise secretaries. We don't have state presidents. We don't have a national president. We have secretaries. So Mr. Vinay Vishram is heading the show in Kerala, and any decision whatsoever, even if it is a demand for resignation, has to be spoken to the media via him. He's saying nothing else, nothing more than that. There's a very cordial relationship between Annie and great support was given by Mr. Vinay Vishram, Comrade Vinay Vishram in the Wayanad election. He was on the feet all the time for Comrade Annie Raja.
Yeah.
So
there's a growing core
Yeah.
coming from the
Yes.
entire front, and it seemed that it is now becoming a war of the gender, because you have the women chorus versus the male chorus, and as I have just quoted, the state secretary of CPI is not endorsing the view of either Annie Raja or even what's coming in from a Brinda Akara who belongs to the same party as M Mukesh.
Yeah, I need 10 seconds. See, it's not about that. It is basically about the procedure. Morally, yes, if Mr. Mukesh wants, he should resign or he may not resign. But technically speaking, from your fraternity, Mr. MJ Akbar, when the Me Too was going on, he had several allegations. When the first allegation came, Mr. Akbar, who was a minister at that time, said that the person who's accusing me has been demanding me for 6 crore rupees. And I mean, if you are telling that an incident happened 10 years ago in some circumstances, it is very difficult for the police and the court and the CBI. Because many other women joined the chorus, and it was then that the Prime Minister was forced to say that you resign. So in this case, at least
no, there are recurrent complaints.
We have been fair.
Raju Nair, are there not recurrent complaints against an M Mukesh?
But the police has been honest in filing the FIR as per whatever has been the complainant saying. We are very clear about it.
Let me quote an example from 2018 when CPIM had actually suspended the Shoranur MLA P. Kesasi as well. So why not repeat that as an example? Lead by an example, Vivek Srivastav, instead of attacking the Congress for harboring those two legislators.
I'm not.
Akansha, just hello. Can I speak? I will just read out. I'll just read out. My good friend had raised the MJ Akbar issue. I will read out a Politburo statement which was published on October 11, 2018. It says, since there are serious charges, MJ Akbar continues as minister in the state in the central government is untenable. He should immediately resign from his office. Understood. 7 women journalists have come forward recounting their experience of sexual harassment and unacceptable behavior from MJ Akbar when he was editor of various newspapers.
Yes.
What changed from 2008 to 2024? Is it because the CPM MLA is being in question?
No.
Now you have another MP, another minister in this cabinet, Mr. KB Ganesh Kumar. In similar cases, 2 of his earliest wives, ex-wives, had level charges of domestic violence against KB Ganesh Kumar.
All right.
Why is he still
I'll
a minister?
have to leave it at that.
So
but let me remind the men on my show today that the fight for justice doesn't end with just resignations. It has to be a proper system that has to be put in place, because remember, resignations can happen and people can also be seen as being cowardly to in fact evade investigation. So investigation, prosecution is perhaps equally important as putting a system in place that addresses these concerns. Many thanks to you, Mr. Srivastav and Mr. Nair, for joining in on this discussion on Plain Speak. But that's not all, because managing editor of CNN News 18, Mr. Zakir Jacob, also spoke with Congress's Shashi Tharoor earlier today on the Me Too storm that has hit the Malayalam film industry. Let's listen in to this CNN News 18 exclusive.
And I want to talk about an issue that's sort of raging through your home state, the film industry in your home state, about this whole Me Too wave. Do you see this as sort of a seminal moment in that industry, in that society, in a way that women artists are saying, no more, we want to live by a different set of rules, and therefore the male artists have to sort of learn to live with this new set of
Yeah,
rules?
and
What
not
do
just
you
the
think?
artists, the male producers, male directors, male people who actually, call the shots on a set. They have certain responsibilities, and that's what this is very clearly established. Well, in some ways, we've been hearing rumors to this effect, from the casting couch to various practices in various film industries around the world and certainly across India. But at least one can say that it's the women of Kerala who had the courage to demand an inquiry. I'm actually slightly disappointed very disappointed by the state government sitting on the report which was submitted to them in 2019 by the all-women committee that wrote the report, the Justice Hema and two other senior women who had studied this and who had done a very thorough job. And when they did release it, they redacted 69 names to protect identities, which means the identities of both the accuser and the accused. But that's really something which I'm glad that I gather a court has taken note of and directed the police to fire suo motu FIRs where there is a report of a cognizable offence. I mean, I was shocked when a minister tried to excuse this by saying, well, the women didn't complain to the government. I'm sorry, they complained to a committee appointed by the government. And therefore, that committee should have been taken seriously, and I'm sorry that 5 years were lost in the process. The state government did not do the right thing. But now that it's coming out, and even though all those 69 pages were redacted, FIRs are being filed, I think it will be very good to see some serious action. What is more important is, will the other film industries around the country also sit up and take notice? Because it's idle to pretend this has only happened in Kerala. On the contrary, Kerala is a place where women are enlightened and strong, and they had the courage to demand this and to conduct and speak honestly to these to the committee of inquiry that came up now with this detailed report, and finally it has come out into the open. I think it's very important that the rest of India's film industry wake up and realize that they need to look at the mote in their own eye.
How do you speak to the fears that, look, this whole thing, the news cycle is on this story now, people are talking about this story, the channels are covering the story, but in 15 days' time or a month's time, they will move on to something else, and then it'll be back to business as usual. How do you speak to those fears?
I do worry about that because, let's face it, Nirbhaya happened in 2012. Eventually, despite the outrage, the candlelight protests, the dharnas, everything else, what happened? Yes, a law was passed. Has it been properly implemented? And what kind of deterrent effect did it have? And all the subsequent rapes and assaults that we've seen, culminating now in another expression of societal outrage in Kolkata. Yeah. I mean, the fact is, we are in a situation now where we have to do some much more fundamental root and branch inquiry into ourselves as a society, into the practices. I have been urging for some time now, even going back to when I was a minister in the government, that we need to bring in gender sensitivity training for our boys at a very young age. Start them when they're 6 years old and telling them to understand the importance of respecting women. Try and make sure that at every stage we have institutional arrangements that protect women's interests. So whether it's in a film set, having separate toilets for women, which don't exist apparently, right down to in a hospital having women's rest areas so that this rogue could not have come in and attacked this lady because she was resting in a seminar room. There was no other place at the end of a 36-hour shift for her to lie down. I mean, you have to create common sense institutional arrangements to protect women in the kinds of situations which they have every right to be in. I mean, we have to stop this patriarchal nonsense of why was she there at this hour or why was she on that street. Of course, we need to have better conditions on the streets. We need to have better street lighting everywhere in India. We need to have better police patrolling. We need to put more resources into all of this because our women have the right to pursue their lives and their dreams while feeling safe. This is a basic human right, and we should certainly fight for it.
I'll come to that Kolkata example in just 1 second, but my final question on what's been happening with this Malayalam film industry. One of the persons who's been accused of these grave sexual assaults is an actor named Mukesh. He's also a public representative. He's an MLA. And there's a lot of pressure saying he should step down as a public representative because he will impede a free and fair investigation. Where do you stand on that?
Well, look, I think those who had positions in AMMA, the Association of the Malayalam Film Industry, and who were implicated definitely had to resign, and they have done so. The secretary was named in a couple of the charges. But also, I think others who may not have been named or blamed have to take moral responsibility because they presided over an iniquitous system. That's one thing. When an individual who did not have a position of authority in the system has been charged, he has every right to defend himself if he doesn't admit the truth and face an inquiry or a court case or whatever. So I think there is, I mean, I understand many in my own party have also called for his resignation, and there is, a public thing there. But if he claims that he is innocent and that a court trial will prove him innocent, he probably, has the right to stand up and try and clear his name. But the process should start, and of course people should, the police and others should look into the details of this. We've gone past the days when, women who had the courage to come up with allegations were just dismissed as, oh, he said, she's saying one thing, he said anything else, what's the proof? Because there is a context, and the context in this report is a pervasive atmosphere of abuse. And if an individual, for example, has had complaints given to the committee about repeated instances of behavior by several different victims, then I think you are looking at a different pattern. You can't just discount everything as hearsay.